eventually, businesses like Uber, if not Uber, will eliminate the taxi business. Just like on YouTube, figure your brain some new food. Hello people, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time on the channel, a special welcome to you. I ask that you check out the rest of my videos. If you like what you see, give them a thumbs up, leave a comment, but more than anything, I'm asking that you subscribe to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Uber's launch in Jamaica. Uber's launch in Jamaica seems to be creating trouble in paradise. So a part of my conversation today is going to say why Uber should be accepted in Jamaica, and a part of my argument is going to be saying why Uber should not be accepted in Jamaica. So for most of you guys who do not know anything about Uber, Uber is really a virtual business. Obviously, it's got an headquarters somewhere in the United States of America, but primarily the business is operated via people's handheld device, whether that's a tablet or a cell phone. And it's pretty much an app-based business, so it's pretty much in compliance with the changing of the world as we move from a physical reality world to a virtual reality world. So Uber is one of those things that you get on your phone, you chose a destination, and immediately you can actually tell how fast the car is going to be there, how much it's going to cost, and you can track your actual destination from one point to another. Futuristic, the Jetsons kind of thing. However, Uber is being challenged because obviously there are taxi drivers in Jamaica like there are taxi drivers everywhere. And the taxi drivers in Jamaica are feeling a bit threatened by Uber's presence in Jamaica, because I would only imagine that Uber would undercut them by being cheaper, and they would have all right to feel threatened. But at the same time, business is a competition. Business is all about competing. And from my understanding, Uber approached the Jamaica Transport Authority about 3 years ago in 2018, where they made their intentions clear that they're coming to Jamaica and they would like to operate as a registered business in Jamaica. The Jamaican Transport Authority, from my understanding, didn't object, but they require that Uber falls in line with some of the requirements that are imposed on taxi services in Jamaica. So immediately Uber started to feel a challenge from Jamaica Transport Authority, because I think the Jamaican Transport Authority wanted Uber drivers to be licensed and registered like the PPV drivers in Jamaica. And Uber, like I say in the beginning, it's not really a taxi cab company. Uber is really a virtual app-based company that offers self-employment to private individuals who has a license and who has a car. So I would suppose that the compliance would be a bit sticky, because what is required of a public transport would not so much be required of an Uber driver. Okay, now that I'm at this point, let me tell you how I feel about it. A PPV red plate in Jamaica is what you call a public taxi. And I see it as a public taxi. So it's registered similar to a bus. But when it comes to Uber, Uber is self-employment for private individuals. So private individuals, say myself, having a car, and I've agreed to the Uber app to become one of their drivers, and I fulfill their requirements via my cell phone or whatever. The person who is going to hire me to pick them up, I see it not as a public service, but I see it as a private hire. Tell me if you agree with me or you disagree with me at this point. So what I'm trying to say is, an Uber driver is not really a public transport driver. He's really a private driver who's having a private hire. I understand the threat that something like this causes, because it's taking money away from people who follow the red tape, so to speak. People who actually got their PPV license, got their red plate, pay excess amount of money for this and for that. But sadly, this is the world that we live in. I mean, before 2008, my primary income came from publishing books, children books, fiction, non-fiction, etc. Actual book, paper. And I made a living from publishing book for many years, and it was a good living until about 2006, 2007, when Kindle came about. Kindle was a threat to the publishing business. Kindle still is a threat to the publishing business. As a matter of fact, it would be fair to say Kindle eliminated the publishing business, because now Kindle is really virtual books. So Uber is kind of like Kindle. And based upon that experience, I'm going to go out on a limb and say to Jamaican taxi drivers and the transport authority that's actually fighting with Uber at the moment, it is a losing battle. Just like our Kindle and online virtual publishing eliminated my business. It's a sad reality, but it is the world that we're living in. People like myself and a little older, we're considered old-fashioned. So the things that we would vouch for, like a physical taxi or a physical book, my son would not vouch for it. My sons would find it much easier to use an app on their phone to call a drive than to actually dial numbers and call a taxi. That's just the sad reality that we're living in, but that's exactly what it is. So a part of me don't want to see the food taken away from the drivers in Jamaica. So there I would say, well, delay Uber as much as possible. But the other part of me says, surrender, give in. This is where the world is heading. We're in a technological gripped society worldwide. And that's just pretty much it. We're being ruled by computers, phone app, and Wi-Fi. And that is just the reality. The way it sounds to me at the moment is because the JTA, the Jamaican Transport Authority, isn't really being promised a fair cut out of Uber's existence. So they're kind of like making it a little sticky for Uber. From my understanding, Uber launched recently in St. Catherine and in Kingston, and the JTA did not approve because Uber did not get back to them after Uber presented its intention in 2018 and was objected by minor requirements of the JTA. I think the JTA kind of tweaked the proposition and says, you're welcome here, competition in transport is welcome, but you have to adjust your proposition and agree to these terms in that term. With the consideration of Jamaican government, not really caring much about the interests of the Jamaican people and about themselves, I would only guess that the JTA did not see any real benefits from Uber to itself as much as it would benefit the people of Jamaica. Like I'm saying, you have more younger people than older people, and the younger people will quickly vouch for Uber. On one side, it presents private self-employment. I don't know how that will work with the Jamaican government. I would figure that if you signed up to be a Uber driver, you would have to give your TRN number and valid identification driver's license. So the Jamaica tax office would still know of your earning. So they would still be getting tax from the driver that way. But maybe, I don't know, maybe the JTA was not happy with how much would the Jamaican government benefit from Uber's presence. I don't know. I'm just saying, with my knowledge of Jamaican government and how they operate. But this video is really for my subscribers and even my viewers to let me know what they think about Uber's presence in Jamaica. Like I say, I'll repeat it again. I see where it will undermine the taxi drivers, but taxi business is a competitive business. Every business is a competitive business. And at the same time, that will be taking food away from the taxi drivers who are already struggling. But on another side, I see where it will make moving from point A to point B quicker, faster, and create an easier life for Jamaicans. And like I say, there are more younger people than there are older people who would quickly vouch for ordering a cab on an app rather than going outside to flag down one or calling one and wait for one. That's my take on it. You win some, you lose some. And I reflected my own personal experience in the business of publishing. Kindle, Uber, it's the same. And I can think of so many other apps that came about and just eliminated what we used to physically do. Going to the airport. No one actually checks in at the airport no more. You can do that from your phone. Going to the supermarket these days. I don't know about the rest of the world, but I can say where I live. Going to the supermarket these days, you may see 1 or 2 cashier in a supermarket that used to have 10 or 15 cashier, because now you can just self-checkout. So, unfortunately, this is where the world is heading. Passports, credit cards, everything is on your cell phone these days. What's going to happen in the end? I don't know. I don't know if the whole world's going to end up being on welfare, where the government just have to give every household a handout, because from where I'm sitting, almost every business is being slowly replaced by virtual reality. Anyway, people, let me know what you think about this video. As you know, on this channel, I appreciate thumbs up and thumbs down, agreement or disagreement, because at the end of the day, people, each one teach one. You've reached the end of my video, and that in itself is a support that I truly appreciate. Other ways that you can support this channel is by giving this video a thumbs up. But the most important way to support my channel is to hit that subscribe button so you do not miss out on any of my future uploads. The third way to support this channel is to go to my Teespring account and purchasing any of my merch. And the fourth way that you can support this channel is joining me in Patreon to give me a contribution to help me to do what I do here on YouTube. Once again, I want to thank all of you guys for checking out my video and ask that you continue to join me, Ian T. Sabas, here on YouTube to see where my journey takes me. Until next time, peace.